And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Culp. I'm your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is November 10th, 2025. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you had a good weekend. I've had a better day today. Why? They finally fired the coach of the Giants. Nothing personal. Never met him. Sure, he's a nice man. If I was coaching the Giants this year, they'd be 7-3. And he obviously does not know how to close a game, as they gave another one away yesterday. So I feel better. But season's almost lost. Well, probably lost. That's my show for today. Anyway, thanks for being here. In case you don't know, really, there is serious talk about you and everything that affects you. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a crap load of things to discuss today, so I want to go right into it. But first, if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. If you don't follow on us X, you should. We'll also post it on the YouTube channel of Biz TV and other podcast apps. And if you'd like to email me, just be nice. Okay. Number one. On Friday, we had said to you, the market had a classic, big, juicy reversal day where it was the NASDAQ was down over 400 and finished only down like 50. The rest of the market was down big and finished very well. And where the market held was what we teach all the time to our peeps and to you. And that is that all-important 50-day moving average. And as we've explained to you, without getting too technical or in the weeds, markets follow roadmaps in bull and bear markets. And the most important part of the roadmap in bullish phases is the 50-day moving average. How do we know this? We've studied every bull and bear phase throughout history. And all it is, you can very easily plot price and time on a chart. And the 50-day moving average is just adding up the last 50 days, divide by 50, the closes, divide by 50, and you get a smoothed out line versus the wiggles and squiggles of daily moves. And in bullish phases, price is contained above an ascending 50-day line, and price is ascending along with it, and all visits down to the 50-day get held, defended. How? Who? The big institutions. These are your big hedge funds, your mutual funds. We call it the smart money. Do they really do this in unison? Well, they all know it works. And what happens when the 50-day moving average finally caves in? Well, it invites more selling. Why? Because the institutions as a whole recognize they are not strong enough anymore, and it was party. Well, on Friday, holy crap, a monstrous reversal. And the thought process is, okay, we're going to get some upside testing off of it. That's what normally happens. You get upside testing. If not, a further good rally or a further bullish phase or a further bull market. That was the thought process. And I must tell you, normally, I'm probing on that day. We already owned the big indices on Friday while they were cramming everything to the downside. They were blasting NVIDIA, the number one influence in the whole market. They were blasting it. Was down like $8 and finished up on the day. We told you that on Friday. Normally, we're going to do some buying on that day, and I didn't. Reason? Government shutdowns, government this, government that. And what happens today? We walk in. Let me see where the market opened today, because we found out, and we predicted this, that the government's going to open. 8 Democrats the Marxist Party, decided to vote with the Republicans. So they wasted all this time. And we, as we said last week, the reason that happened is because they wanted to wait for the election, because they figure a government shutdown hurts the Republicans, which normally it does because the media is a suckfest. Anyway, and this was all on the Dems. So the government's going to open back up. We knew it was getting close. Why? Because there's no way they're going into another week where they're shutting down airports. And the government officially doesn't open back up for a few more days. The House has to vote, and then the president signs off. But all the TSA people and the air traffic controls, they're getting back because they know they're getting paid soon. And that's the story. And all I can tell you is the NASDAQ gapped up today, opened up at 23,336. 300 points. The NASDAQ, after getting squashed Friday, they were crushing it. So between the low of Friday and the open today, 750 NASDAQ points in 4 hours because the low was noon? What's with that? But that's not the whole. The NASDAQ finished up 522 today. And I'll get into individual stuff in a second. The S&P, well, has a ton of tech. The S&P opened up at 6798. 70 points, 65 to 70. The Dow was a weakling early, but came on at the end because the market got stronger. But the Dow very quickly was 47,330, up 350. And we finished up 381, 103, 522 on the NASDAQ, 551 on the NASDAQ 100. Transports were down. And what led? Everything that was being crushed into Friday morning. Everything that was being crushed into Friday morning. But something else I was thinking about today, and that's NVIDIA. Let me explain why. NVIDIA at 12 o'clock on Friday, NVIDIA was down, broke below the 50-day, hit 170. I'm going to round out to 179. Down from the high on Monday of 211. Closed at 188. Was up 11 and change today. And I'm thinking to myself, this is almost a $5 trillion market cap trading like a small cap stock. For me, today's action, not in number, but in what? Stunning to see big mega caps moving like small caps. And is the worst of the correction over? It sure feels like it. Big reversal Friday, remember that. And not just upside testing, but holy crap, upside testing. The indices are not back at the highs, but one has to wonder, they're going to get there? Or should I just say they're going to get there? We'll see. As we always say, we have no clue what tomorrow brings, but dang, that big frickin' reversal and a monster day for semis, tech, artificial intelligence, that data crap, and throw in Eli Lilly. because whatever they're doing with those diet things, or whatever you call it. It's not a diet, it's a whatever, to get yourself in good shape. Why? Because they've adjusted pricing and payouts by government that'll benefit, and that means, I guess, the market thinks they're going to sell a hell of a lot more. But for me, the stunning thing is the movement in such large companies. Up next, we'll continue with this. Lots to cover. I'm Gary. This is the one only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Gold, strong day today. Gold miners, strong day today. Both look like, we had mentioned that both corrected, sat, built a little floor, moved above today. Let's see if that sticks. Looks pretty darn good. Gold and gold miners. Throw in silver also. Looks like that correction's over. We had been saying to you, we do not think that bullish phase is over yet. Tomorrow will be another day. But I want to backtrack and just, the SOX up 209. And by the way, let's just throw that out. The Philadelphia Semiconductor Index hit a low around noon, 66.88 on Friday. Closed at 71.57 today. It was about 7.5% from noon. Yeah, 12:10 p.m. The guess, maybe some backing and filling first, maybe some catching up of this move off the low Friday, and then, but we'll keep a very close watch on it. The big banks, a little disappointing. Goldman was up 20 early, then it was only up 5, finished up 10, hasn't broken out yet. JP Morgan was up 6 early, finished up 260, broke out early, tucked back in. But the big banks act, let's use the word swell. They need to break out of this, what is it, about a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of sitting around type of thing. Maybe 8. Bank of New York looks like it's edged above. And what do we say about the semiconductors and the big banks? They've been leading. Other areas, as I mentioned, gold. Oil's a pretty decent day. And I got to tell you something. BP is in a new yearly high. Just letting you know. Valero, right at new yearly high. Shell, new yearly high. Just letting you know, there are some oils that are at new yearly highs. One you probably never heard of, Par Pacific, new yearly high. So some oils. Broad market was crappy early, got better throughout the day. Still plenty of red on my stuff screen, but better. The place, though, and let me repeat a statement, because I've seen it all. I've seen everything. I've studied everything. I'm even taken aback. Notice the big word, aback, by the moves. From the drop into noon on Friday to the move into the close, which, as we said, a reversal off the 50-day. And by the way, I'm always talking to myself on a day like that, and really what I was saying to myself throughout, I should be buying, right? I should be buying. I know I'm invested, but I should be buying. Oh, but the government thing, and they're talking this and talking that. I'll wait till Monday morning. Do my scans. That was the thought when it was all said and done. I'll wait, do my scans, know what I want to do. And I got to tell you, my favorite names were nuts to the upside today. Absolutely nuts. The data storage, disk drives, selective software, artificial intelligence. Remember Palantir? Gap down on earnings. Followed through badly to the downside. Broke the 50-day badly on Friday. Hit a low of 169, close at 178. I'm thinking that'll bounce too. No, I did not think it would bounce. $15 today, back up to 193. And it gapped to the downside on earnings. That is institutional money going almost one note and quite the pile on. Emerging markets, the EFA index, China, all with good chart patterns. The DAX was again saved at support levels, though it's held the lows of the support going back about 6 months. I can't find much to really accept. It's very narrow, but the narrow is such an influence. Remember, 8 stocks, almost 70% of the NASDAQ 100, those same 8, 38% of the S&P, and number one is NVIDIA, and it just had a magnificent, marvelous reversal and a jump to the upside today. Like I said, like a small cap. And I got asked by a dozen people today, how do you go from vicious selling to vicious buying? And so quickly, what's going on? My only answer is I don't know. I would think the government being shut down and then opening up wouldn't do something like that. The government was shut down for 6 weeks or something like that, and the market was going up, not down. So instead of worrying and rationalizing why, I just deal with what the market does. And then close our eyes, hold our nose, and pray. Of course, I've tried praying. It does not work, so we don't do that anymore. And trust me, I've been doing it with my Giants for a very long time, and my Mets. You know, the Mets with the rally caps and everything. Boy, that hasn't worked in a long while. So that's the story. Yields today were up a little bit. Oil prices were up a little bit. Weakness in hospitals and managed care because whatever the deal was with the Democrats to open the government wasn't great for health care. Chuck Schumer's having crap fits today. Oh, yeah, you're screwing people. Chuck Schumer's been in D.C. for about 32 of our 38 trillion of our debt. So you know my line, right? Go screw. I don't want to hear from you. All these people that have been there for decades are the culprits. They're the ones that started the gargantuan upward move in debt and deficits and government spending. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, ground zero and ground one. Oh, and what's his face in the Republican Party? I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. All right. Stupid is as stupid does. Let me take on this administration. Hope you don't mind. Anybody who's been listening to us for a very long time, we have been telling you we don't even like the 30-year mortgage. If you do an amortization table on the 30-year mortgage versus the 15, you will notice in the 15-year mortgage, you are paying off principal from the first month of a payment. And grows and grows and grows and grows because you are only 15 years. Now, of course, your payment is higher than a 30-year. But a home is a home, but it's also an investment. And do you want to have a good investment or a bad? Because a 30-year mortgage, you are not paying down your debt to like year 14 or 15. It's infinitesimal. Look at the big word, infinitesimal. Isn't that a word? It's so minor. Go look at an amortization table of a 30-year versus a 15. Now, some will say, yeah, but I can do the 30 and make extra payments a year. That is correct. You can. You can get a 30-year mortgage and treat it as a 15-year. Pay $100 a month or $200. It really wipes a lot of interest out over time. I agree. So I agree for some, not a bad move, as long as you do that paying off quicker. As my nanny Annie used to say, Oy veyes mir. The president came out and proposed a 50-year mortgage. And let me be blunt, one of the stupidest freaking ideas I have ever heard. And boy, we've had stupid ideas come from Washington, D.C. Amazingly, we're getting that from a president of the United States who is a billionaire, a real estate mogul, a creator of magnificent golf courses, but yet he proposes a 50-year mortgage, which is, again, the dumbest idea, and let me explain why. Their basis is, well, nobody can afford to get into homes these days because prices are too high. Well, let me give you a couple of things. Number one, then shut up about taking yields down to 2%, the Fed funds. Remember, the reason why we have the housing problem is because Jay Powell sucks. I take it back. I'll just say he sucks. He printed to $9 trillion. He took rates to zero, kept them there, created 3% mortgages where nobody wants to sell. So there's no inventory, so prices skyrocket when there's no inventory. And that's what happened. Simple as that. That's what created all the distortions, the ridiculous easy money. But the president wants easier money now. And I'm thinking to myself, does he not understand this? And I really want to get an audience with him so I can explain this to him. I don't know if he tell me to go screw or not, but somebody needs to explain it to him. So he proposes a 50-year mortgage, and here's why. Your payment's lower. You're paying it over 50 years, but here's the problem. You're paying the bank for decades. You're not paying for the house. That's why. All the interest is front-loaded to the bank. And you're not running down the equity in the house. You're not gaining anything. Versus the 15-year, if you make a $3,000 payment, maybe $600 is going towards you. You're paying yourself back. A 30-year, maybe $15 is. A 50-year is like $1. No sense. Affordability, your lower payment, you can't afford to do it because you're creating no wealth by just paying banks interest. That's it. In a nutshell. And don't believe me, go online. Do an amortization table. Put a $500,000 home in there. Use 7%. Whatever you want. Use 6.5%. And look at the payments and the interest. And what comes down out of equity. Meaning what you owe. It's a nightmare. Compare it 50 to a 30. Compared to the 15. Stupid is as stupid does. That's number one. Number two, if I am going to whine and complain about Joe Biden picking winners and losers, hey, we're going to take the loan that you owe college and we're going to get rid of it. Hey, you over there, haha, we're not doing anything for you. But you over there, yeah, we're taking care of you. Can't stand it. Don't like it. Nothing I like about it. As we have told you, if I was president, keep taxes low. Get rid of the onerous regulations. Protect the border. Protect the citizens and get the hell out of the way. No! Let's tariff the hell out of the country. Taxes. And after we do that, let's send the $2,000 check to these people. No, not those people. These people. Well, that's the president's proposal. If you make a certain amount or don't make a certain amount, you will get a $2,000 check from us. And you know what that $2,000 is coming from? Tariffs. So raise taxes on the country and pay off the country with those raised taxes. Stupid is as stupid does. We don't want that. We don't want any of that from people that are running the country. We don't want tariffs. We don't want any of it. And we certainly don't want payoffs. The farmers, they're getting their you-know-what's you-know-whatted because of the president's tariffs. He says he's going to bail them out. With our tax dollars. No. No. We don't want that. Get rid of the tariffs if they're hurting people. That's all. And stop doling out things because of what somebody does. Hey, Apple comes to the White House, kisses the butt, and they get exemptions from the tariffs after they paid $1.8 billion. I don't blame Tim Cook for doing that, but it shouldn't get to that. So sorry, I am not for $2,000 checks. I am not for $2,000 checks to you, but not them. And stop telling people the money's coming into the country. It is not. The money is being paid by this country. That's my taking on the administration today with two. Stupid is as stupid does. They have already started walking back the $2,000, and they look like they're starting to already walk back the 50-year mortgage. We basically take a little glimpse of some smart people on social media. They're all agreeing with us. Just enough. We want government out of our lives, except to protect the citizens, protect the border, keep taxes low, enough of the regulations, and get out of the way. That's all. Not asking much. Up next, this, that, and the other thing. This is the one only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. So I keep this running notebook for the markets. On Friday, I took out my blue dry erase marker and wrote these words on the whole page. And usually I'm writing down stocks and stuff, but instead, the whole page. Big, blanking, can't mention, reversal right at vital support areas. This is one I would have liked to do over. Why? 9 out of 10 times, I take that back, 97 out of 100 times, a reversal at vital support areas, like we saw on Friday, upside testing. Little did we know it would be a big blanking gap to the upside. Had a little selling early in the day, and then they just bought it up, led by unbelievable NVIDIA. 13% of the NASDAQ 100, and I think it's like almost 8% of the S&P. It's 38 times, I remember the number from Friday, 38 times what a normal S&P equal weighting stock should be, which is 0.2%. Wow. And I was watching it today move like it was a small cap. Wow. Wow. In other news today that may or may not matter, I don't think I've ever mentioned this on radio because it's not really your, but I felt necessary today. You know why? I'm Mr. Logic. I just believe in logic. That's all. I believe in logic. I have not understood, and this has nothing to do with the markets, how a physically male is racing females or doing the shot put against a female or wrestling a female. It's just the laws of nature. I've never understood it. And yet people that say, I don't understand why, are called phobic this, phobic that, when I believe it's just logic. The Olympics today said they are now going to ban born males in female events today. And people are up in arms and others are saying yay. And the Olympics, and I'm thinking to myself, what did Columbus just discover America? I don't know if you've seen some of the athletic contests where they had this. I saw one where it was a race and the male beat the females by like 200 yards in a like 2-mile race, 300 yards. Anyway, don't curse me out for bringing this up if you disagree, but I'm just Mr. Logic, and I just wanted to bring that up because that's getting headlines today. That one is getting headlines today. May I state that for the record, on top of 50-year mortgages and stuff like that. In the news, Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara is meeting with the president at the White House. He is a former Al-Qaeda and ISIS leader, but he now is running Syria because the last scumbag is gone, was sent packing. Wow, huh? This guy was the head of ISIS and Al-Qaeda, who just beheaded people left and right, and murdered people left and right, and raped women left and right. But he is the head of Syria now. And I'm thinking to myself, if I was president, would I meet with him? And what would I want to accomplish? Because Syria has been bad stuff. The last guy mustard gas his own people. You go on and on, you can read about it. I'm thinking to myself, if I was president, would I meet with him knowing he's running the place and nothing I can do about that? I haven't come to an answer yet. Because I'm always thinking, hey, if Syria can become a great place, if the guy is professed moderation and has totally blew off all the bad, but he still was bad. So I don't know. I'm not there yet. Anyway, just letting you know, that's a big story today. Big story. And of course, as we circle back, the Giants gave up another easy win yesterday, and the coach is now gone. And I bet you the interim coach does a better job. Nah, don't bet me. Lastly, the BBC, British Broadcasting. I've complained about them. They're just not... They're like the UN. They hate Israel, and they lie about Israel, and they quote Hamas. They like the terrorists more than they like the Israel government. They have admitted to lying about the president and his speeches, and the two heads of BBC have stepped down, and now the president says if he does not get some sort of apology, he's suing him for $1 billion. I'm thinking Israel should sue him for $10 billion. Anyway, so that's going on, and that's good to see. We want good media that don't lie. That's all. Anyway, what a day. I can't wait to scan this. You have a great evening. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family, hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise they will be well. Have a good night, everybody. Until tomorrow. Peace out. Bye-bye.